One of the most important concepts in physics is motion, which describes how objects change their position over time. Motion can be classified into different types, such as linear motion, circular motion, and rotational motion. In this lesson, we will focus on linear motion, which is the simplest type of motion where an object moves along a straight line. To study linear motion, we need to use some quantities that describe how fast and how far an object moves. These quantities are distance, displacement, speed, velocity, and acceleration. First, we discuss the motion. What is motion? Then we know what we mean by speed and how we calculate the speed. Then we discuss the types of speed. So, what is motion? As you see, the car moves from this side to this side, meaning it changes its position. So the motion is the change of an object position as time passes. And type of motion, we have circular motion, oscillatory motion, and motion in one direction, which we will focus on. So the motion in one direction is the simplest type of motion, where the path of a moving object is straight, curved, or combination of both. So the motion in one path or in linear path, it could be straight line, curved line, or straight and curved line, like the motion of a train metro. So the motion of the train or the metro is straight line or motion in one direction because it's the train goes in a straight line or curved line or both and has starting point and ending point. So how can we describe the motion of an object? We use the term speed. So we describe the motion of some object as fast or slow. So we have a red car and a blue car, and let's compare them. All of you will say that the red car is faster because it takes less time to cover the same distance. So the two cars cover the same distance, but the red car takes 3 seconds, the blue car takes 5 seconds. So the red car is faster than the blue car because it takes the same time, because it takes less time to cover the same distance. Again, we will agree that the red car is faster because it takes the same time to cover larger distance. So the red car covers 100 meters, the blue car covers 50 meters. So the red car is faster than the blue car because it takes the same time to cover more distance. So we use two factors to describe speed. The first is the distance moved by the object and the time taken by the object to cover this distance. So the speed is the distance moved through unit time, or it's the rate of a change in distance. So the speed, we use distance and time, and the speed equals distance over time. So how we measure the speed? The distance is measured by meter, kilometer, or centimeter. The time, second, minute, or hour. So the distance or the speed measuring unit could be meter and second. We call it meter per second. Distance per meter, time per minute, so meter per minute. The distance, kilometer, time second, so the speed will be kilometer per second. Or if the distance by kilometer and we measure time by hour, So the speed will be kilometer per hour. And we can change from one unit to the other. So to convert from kilometer to meter, we multiply by 1000. To convert from meter to centimeter, we multiply by 100. And to convert from centimeter to meter, we divide by 100. To convert from meter to kilometer, we divide by 1000. To convert the measuring unit of time from hour to minute, we multiply by 60. From minute to second, we multiply by 60. And to convert from second to minute, we divide by 60. And from minute to hour, we divide by 60. And if we want to convert from second directly to hour, we divide by 3600. And if we convert from hour directly to second, we multiply by 3600. So if we have kilometer per hour and we need to convert it to meter per second, the kilometer from kilometer to meter 1000, and from hour to second is 3600. So that will give us 5/18. So if we directly converting the speed measuring unit from kilometer per hour to meter per second, we multiply by 5/18. And if we convert from meter per second to kilometer per hour, we multiply by 18/5. So when the object is speed equal the amount of distance covered, speed equal distance over time. So how the distance equal the speed? That will happen when the object cover the distance in unit time, 1 unit time. Could be minute, second, or hour. So the object speed equal the amount of distance covered when the object cover this distance in 1 unit time. When the object covers this distance through a unit time, 1 hour, 1 minute, or 1 second. Why the object speed increase by decreasing the time? Again, speed equal distance over time. So as we decrease the time, the speed will increase, because the relation between time and speed is inverse relation. And the inverse relation, we show it by this graph or this graph. So those both graphs represent an inverse relation. So because speed equal distance over time, so the speed is inversely proportional to the time when the distance is fixed. And why the object speed increase by increasing the distance? Again, speed equal distance over time. So as the distance increase, the speed increase in the same time or as the time fixed, because the relation between distance and speed is direct relation. And the direct relation we represented by this graph or this graph. So both of those graphs represent a direct relation. So because speed equal distance over time, so speed is directly proportional to the covered distance when the time is fixed. What is meant by a car moves at a speed of 120 km per hour? Speed means the rate of a change or the distance covered in unit. So that will mean that the car cover 120 km in 1 hour. So means that the car covers a distance of 120 km in 1 hour. What is meant by a train covers a distance of 150 kilometers in 2 hours? We have distance and time. So we get speed equal distance over time, 150 over 2 equal 75. So we rewrite this sentence as this means that the train goes by a speed of 75 kilometers per hour. This means that the train moves at a speed equal 75 kilometers per hour. What is meant by the speed of a car equals 0? Speed means that distance covered in time. So speed equals 0 means the car doesn't cover distance, which means that the car is static or not at motion, don't move. This means that the car is at rest. And why cars and planes are provided with speedometer? To easily know the actual speed of the car or plane, to help us identifying the speed of cars and plane directly. So a runner runs at a speed of 6 meters per second. Find that distance. Speed equal distance over time. So you want us to calculate the speed. So distance equal speed multiplied by time. The speed is 6 meters per second times 10 seconds equal 60 meters. So why didn't we say 60 kilometers? Because the measuring unit of speed is meter. So the measuring unit of distance must be the same, 60 meters. A train covers 50 meters in 2 seconds. Find the speed in kilometers per hour. We can directly measure the speed in kilometers per hour because we have the distance in meter. So first we get the speed in meter per second. So the speed equal distance over time. So speed will equal 50 over 1 hour equal 50 meters per second. So to convert the measuring unit of speed from meter per second to kilometer per hour, we multiply by 18 over 5. So the speed in kilometers per hour equal 90 kilometers per hour. A plane moves from Aswan and covers an 850 kilometers in 1 hour to reach Cairo. Calculate the speed in kilometer per hour and meter per second. First, because we can directly calculate the speed in kilometer per hour because we have distance in kilometer and time is in hour. So speed equal distance over time. Speed equal 850 over 1 equal 850 kilometer per hour. And to convert from kilometer per hour to meter per second, we have to multiply by 5 over 18. So the speed will equal 5 over 18 multiply 850 will equal 231.1 meter per second. Train start to move at 6 o'clock. Then what is the time of arrival? If it moves at a speed of 40 kilometers to cover 200 kilometers. He wants us to know the time of arrival. So when the train will arrive, not the time taken by the train to cover the distance. So first we get the time of the trip. So the time, speed equal distance over time. So time equal distance over speed. So the time, distance of 200 kilometer over speed 40 kilometer per second equal 5 hour. 5 hour is the time taken by the train in the trip. So he will take 5 hours in the trip and he start moving at 6 o'clock. So 6 o'clock at 5 equal 11 o'clock. So the train will arrive at the next station at 11 o'clock.